Hello.
Hi.
Who are you?
My name is Lisa Dick Abrahamsen. I'm a Danish artist from Copenhagen. I have this shop, studio here behind me. Do you want to come and have a look?
Yeah, let's check it out. So this is your gallery?
It's a gallery, it's a shop, it's a workshop, studio. I work here and I exhibit my work.
So you have paintings?
This is my background as a visual artist. I'm a painter. I did that for 25 years or so, only concentrating on paintings, and now I'm sort of spreading my impressions. So I work in paintings, small objects, paperworks. I have a textile line, and I also started some stuff for children. This is some of the paintings. It's very crowded here. It's a small place, so there's loads of things to look at. But it's also nice when, with all the stuff together, it creates a certain kind of atmosphere. Like it's my universe you sort of walk into and have an explore. I mainly work on acrylic, on canvas. Acrylic is good for my kind of methods because it's very quick drying and I'm very quick in my process. This is textile. It's a new thing. It's, I don't know, nice things for the home.
What are these?
Which ones of them? These are, yeah, it's paintings, and it's. I sort of try when I make a painting. First of all, I'm interested in movement. I'm interested in different structures, kind of architectural compositions, and then I always have this thing with. I try to the limit for me is not the size of the canvas. So I sort of, I don't know if you can tell, but I always try to sort of have some, it's a bit elastic. It goes to the edges, sometimes it's almost fly up, and it's like a choreography somehow. So this is the painting part, some of my drawings. This is very simple black and white, which I like very much because it's all right simple. Here I work in collage and paint, and here's some more of my drawings. It's almost always abstract, I would say. I have these elements that I sort of combine. Here is a bit of figuration, you can tell with, this might be a tree, this is something else. Here I also put figures, furnitures, whatever. It's a very figurative one, but it's still a matter of how it moves on the chosen format or size of paper, whatever.
Can we see some of those?
Yeah, these are, I'll take these two over here as well. It's just lines, I work, and I'm fascinated by, or try to sort of say, okay, we have these colors we work with, and still also, you know, trying to make it move, yeah, stretch it. And so that's what I mainly do in papers, but also, you know, these small details of something architectural. These, it's not architecture, but still it's a landscape of some kind. What do we have here? That's a very nice and simple one. And this is when I draw naturalistic. I don't do that so much, but I love it sometimes. Just a small, fine lines with a pencil, and suddenly you have a little animal or whatever it is you want to draw. Then I use the paper also three-dimensional. Like here you have a little difference in the surface, but here I go up and sort of make smaller objects.
Can we look around this?
On the other side, you want to see it? On the other side?
Oh, it ends there.
No, okay. What? This one, I don't know if you can see it, but the back side is painted pink, so it has sort of a reflection, a red reflection on the white paper. Here's another kind of paperwork. Nice little shirt that I bought once in Berlin, a bag for postcards. This has a very nice saying. Here's another fine little paper woman without a woman. And then the objects. I work very much on most of my objects are always they are all of them made of wood or carton. And then I use the raw wood. It's recycled wood mainly, so I like the difference in the shades and colors and structures, and then I just use my colors to sort of mix, you know, this. Here's.
Can I pass?
Yeah, sure. Here's another one. And it's sort of based of all these bits and pieces that I get hold of, and the bits and pieces sort of defined the objects themselves, and then I just help to connect it. Has another side to it. It's small, sort of small buildings. This one, very nice, delicate graphic. And then sometimes it's also like this is a bit textile 3D funny sculpture thing. Oh. And maybe I should show you some of my real textile work. Which we have here. This is sort of where I try to translate a drawing into a piece of textile work. So I made these small fine lines embroidered on silk. But mainly my taste at textile work is based on things for sort of fashion and for use. But still it's me, and it's the color, and it's a certain composition. Here's some small bags. This one is for iPhones. So is that one. Sometimes I'm very fascinated about embroidery and old handcraft techniques used in different contexts. This is one of the heavy embroideries where it takes hours and hours and hours, of course. And this is my little label called Fra Leise, which means from Leise. I like to keep the idea that everything I make, because it's one of a kind, it's unique and all made by me. And then I made this label called Fra Leise, which is called, it means in English from Leise. Because I like the idea of that it's a personal gift from me to you. This is when I work on machine embroidery. And here's another little nice one. It's not machine embroidery, it's just simple handmade. This is a little brooch. And here's a little, this one is also embroidered. And here's a party bag. Small buildings. Here's a big bag, which is mainly quilted and machine embroidered. Very much based on the colors. That's familiar with this, where I sort of quilt and machine embroider, and then I use a little hand embroidered figures on top of it. So this is some of the stuff I do in textile, and then some years ago I found this great idea, I think, to make embroidered bracelets. So let's see if we can make it gigantic piles of all the hours and efforts I put into this. See, it's nice, different styles, all of them.
Okay.
It's not easy to make a pile. Some are for summer, some are for winter, and they're very nice combined with fine jewelry, like a little simple gold bracelet or whatever you want to use with them. I thought when I made these first, I had this working title called what was it? Princess from Kyrgyzia on some Tibetan highlands or something like that. And what that means is that I worked in the way that I figure a woman in a small village somewhere would work if she had to do something very nice and refined for a present or for a wedding, and she didn't have anything to do it from. Then she would still probably have one little piece of colored cloth and a little piece of thread, and then I guess she would try to make jewelry or diamonds out of that. That's what I do with this. It's all small innocent pieces of something who suddenly turns out to something else. Whoops.
Let's check your children's.
Yeah, that's a chapter, and so this is a children's cabinet filled with stuff for small ones. The stuffed dolls, some of them are printed, some of it is hand painted, embroidered. This is a little animal with something inside it, but it all started out for me. This one is very nice too. It actually has a little one to accompany. It all started out, this project, with me making a series of drawings for children, and one of my students had the opportunity to print it for me. So we sort of made a prototype for bed linen. And this is the first prototype. I sort of, fixed it a little better so there's not those holes in it. But anyway, the purpose of this is that you have to have, or it's possible for you to have bed linen, and then all the figures that I drawn, I also turn them into sort of stuffed dolls in all different sizes and the different shapes of the different figures. And then it's painted with paint that you can almost eat. It's not at all dangerous for children. And then the meaning is that you can build a world of your own based on these figures. Like this is the ballerina. And here we have, this one is called Omega.
So let's check more of these in part 2 of this video.
Yeah.